Hello, my fellow makeup enthusiasts. Welcome back to Makeup Use Disorder. Not an official DSM diagnosis, but it should be, for sure. At last, I got my hands on the Kristen Leanne collab with Urban Decay. This is called the Kaleidoscope Dreams palette, and the brush likes to slip out, so I'm going to be really careful opening it up. Now, I have some things to say about this. All good things. All good things. And before I get into the review, I want to tell you my sob story about the acquisition of this beautiful, beautiful baby. So I've been following this release pretty much from the get-go. I've been really excited about it. I've been watching Kristen Leanne for a long time. I love her style. She's like a super cool version of me. She's what I would be if I were actually cool, and I adore her. And no, I did not buy this jacket because she's wearing a very similar jacket in her video. I had this, and when I saw her video, I got so excited, and I was like, oh my God, I have the same jacket! So of course I had to wear it in this video. I also wanted to say that in her video, and I'm gonna link that down below because I think it's good to hear from the creator what the collection is all about, but it's also, I think, good to hear from someone who's just a plain old consumer and they don't have any biases, they don't have any agenda to sell you the product. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this video. Plus, I'm really excited about it and I really wanna talk about it. Anyway, I have said multiple times in my videos and on my Instagram that if my face could marry a makeup brand, it would marry Urban Decay. In her video, Kristen Leanne said that if she were a makeup brand, she would be Urban Decay. So are we married? Back to my sob story about my tortured acquisition. When this launched on the Urban Decay website, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not in desperate need of new eyeshadow. I know that this is not going to sell out that quickly. It's probably gonna sell out eventually, but I feel like I can wait for it to launch in the store. So I kept checking on Sephora and Ulta. They finally started carrying it online. And one day I was browsing the Ulta website and I just typed in my zip code to see if they had it in the store, and it said available. If you guys follow me, and if you don't, no worries, I'm new, I don't expect you to follow me, but if you do follow me, if you did see the video about discontinued products that I really miss, I mentioned the Urban Decay Shadow Box. These colors are similar. And while I'm holding this up, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the layout. I don't mind it. I don't see anything wrong with this. I think it's kind of cute. I don't have a problem figuring out which shades I want to pair together just because they're not laid out logically. And I've heard so many people gripe about this layout. And this is from people that I'm subscribed to, whose videos I really like, whose personalities I really like, but so many people are bitching about the layout of this palette. Why? I don't understand what the problem is. And no shade, I'm not hating on the people that are complaining about this. I'm still gonna watch your videos, I still like you, but why? Why is this a problem? I don't understand why people can't just look at a palette and go, okay, I like that shade, oh, those two would be pretty together. I don't need to be spoon-fed by the layout of my palettes. I did some swatches with this yesterday. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a photo. And you know what? The way my tripod is, it's really not set up to angle down and film my arms. This house is in an even more catastrophic state of disarray than it was the last time I filmed in the house. By the way, I'm able to film in the house at least. There's no contractors here today. There's no hammering and painting. So I'm gonna film a fuck ton of videos while I can. And you know what? I'm gonna do this differently. I'm just gonna put them on my shoulders. And this is Fix Plus. I always put down Fix Plus before I do swatches. Guess what my favorite shade is? It's Spitfire, of course. I love my hot pink shadows. I love this. Let's pop it here. Look at that. Another favorite of mine is LCW. That stands for Long Cool Woman. We're gonna put this on this side. And I would like to talk about this shade in comparison to a shade in the Huda Electric Obsessions palette, this one right here. The Urban Decay shade LCW is so much better. I love this palette. This may be one of my favorite palettes of all time. I don't like every shade. I don't like the shimmers. They don't last. Even with Fix Plus, even with a good primer, I just find that they don't last. Let's compare. Okay, can we see that? We'll zoom in. Now I'm gonna just take my hand. Okay, do you see how the Urban Decay is still kind of there and the Huda is almost gone? No shade, I love this palette. But one of the reasons that I wasn't super hot to trot, like it wasn't super urgent for me to get the Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope Dreams palette was because I was thinking, you know, I have a lot of those shades, and in particular, I was thinking about this palette. And in particular, I was thinking about this color. Honestly, this color kind of sucks. It really does. I mean, the shadow itself kind of sucks. The color is fine, but it doesn't stay on, so it's kind of useless. I'm blinding you. I'm sorry. I'm thinking I'm not going to swatch every single shade because you can really easily find videos where people swatch these, but I'm going to swatch my favorites. Lime Time. The green. I love this green. I used to have a car this color. And let's go ahead and talk about what's on my eyes. I have Lime Time in the inner corner. I have Spitfire on the lid. I have Long Cool Woman right here a little bit, and also as my liner until about here, and then I switch over to TRM. I believe that's the Ryan Morgan. I think that's her husband. Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. I know you will. There we go. And I did use Tahine on the outer V on the very edge to kind of blow out the look, and I also used that as my brow color. I'm happy with it. So let's swatch her. That's a terrible swatch, I'm sorry. I'm not really into gold eyeshadow, so I'm not going to talk much about Stay Gold. I'm sure I'll use it eventually at some point. I have shades very similar to Corona. I did use that a little bit today. I like it. Is that dye or is that DYE? Is that an acronym or is that the word dye as in dye? Maybe it's a reference to Arctic Fox. Oh, and by the way, I do use the Arctic Fox hair colors. Kristen Leanne is behind those as well. I've been trying to get like a fire ombre effect on my hair, so I've been using yellow hair dye on the ends of my hair. I don't want to bleach my hair again. I swore up and down that I would never bleach my hair again. And I don't think it's really showing up in this light. But if I get out in the sunlight, and it's really gloomy today, so there's no way I could show you. But I do have a little bit of an ombre effect, and it's thanks to Arctic Fox. Now let's talk about the two top coats, Leo and Brixton. I love these. I used both of them today in my eye look, and I meant to use one as a highlighter and I completely forgot. But these are basically the types of shades that you would find in the Distortion palette. That's another thing that people were just anti-hauling like crazy. I wanted that. I was excited when that came out. The only reason I didn't pick it up was because I couldn't justify it because I have the Kat Von D Alchemist palette and I love that thing. I couldn't justify it. But I didn't hate it. I wasn't anti-hauling it. I may buy it if it goes on sale. Anyway, I love these. So let's start with Leo and let's put Leo over TRM. Wow, I just made a mess. But I did use these top coat shades just to kind of go over everything that I put on today, and it really did just kind of bring the whole thing together. Leo is kind of an icy blue overlay. That's not the right word. Top coat, duochrome, I don't know. This split pan right here. And then Brixton is kind of a pinky tone top coat overlay duochrome. And I'll put her over Tahine. Ooh, that's pretty. And the one thing I will say that's kind of a gripe is the brush. And I like the brush. I did use the brush when I applied these. It's great. Maybe not so much for packing on color, but for blending, I think it's really good. It doesn't stay in. Like if you tilt this palette at all, the brush is gonna fall out. And then let's also do a quick comparison of Tahine and Goals from the Violet Voss palette because those two give me very similar vibes. And I'll go ahead and go over Goals with Brixton just to keep it uniform. Yeah, so they're pretty similar. I feel like Tahine is a little bit bolder, more of a burnt orange, and Goals is a little bit more of a dark melon. I don't know. I like them both. If I've got a palette open and I'm doing a look and I need an orange, I'm gonna reach for the orange that's in the palette unless there's something just really, really wrong with it. So yeah, I wouldn't reach for the Violet Voss if I were using the Urban Decay palette. By the same token, I wouldn't reach for the Urban Decay if I was dipping into the Violet Voss palette. By the way, still really loving this. Damn, I need to wax my pits. It's winter time. I'm hardly ever wearing tank tops. This palette is available on the Urban Decay website. It is $39. You can also get it at Ulta. Probably not in the store, at least that's been my experience, but it is available on the Ulta website. It is available at Sephora. I'm not sure if Sephora is good about having it in stock. I actually haven't been to Sephora in a while. What's happening to me? In the same collection, there is a highlighter palette. There is a more neutral, softer, kind of pastel-y palette. I don't remember the name of it because I wasn't really that interested in it. I mean, I looked at it, it looked pretty, but it's just not me. There are 3 lipsticks. None of them are really my shades, although there's one that I feel like I might have fun just kind of playing around with. I didn't swatch them. I might try one. Oh, and I am wearing the orange Linda Hallberg Mood Crayon, the Likeable Mood, in my waterline. Still loving those pencils. So that wraps it up for my review of the Kristen Leanne Urban Decay collab, the Kaleidoscope Dreams eyeshadow palette. I know, I love everything I talk about. I purchase wisely, but one of these days it's gonna happen. I'm going to accidentally purchase a turd and then I'm gonna have some really snarky things to say about the product. I have nothing snarky to say about this because it's beautiful. Coming up later this weekend, maybe tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, I'm going to review the Suva Beauty La La Land collection for Valentine's Day. I had a chance to play with it yesterday. Oh man, it's good. Of course, I really don't like everything. I just purchase wisely. So that wraps it up for this video. Go ahead and throw me a pity like, give me some encouragement to make some more videos. I'm gonna make some more videos anyway, but I could use the encouragement and I would appreciate it. Big shout out to you if you're watching this video on the toilet. Follow me on Instagram, I will follow you back. And until next time, stay adorably obsessed with beautiful makeup.